Hey, and welcome to another chess video. And today we'll be taking a look at one of the favorite games I have learned about while playing the game of chess, and something you will really enjoy. A game which has been analyzed over hundreds of times, and people use it to prove that having a materialistic advantage in chess isn't all about winning chess. And this game was played between Adolf Anderson and Lionel Kaiseritzky in London, and it is known as the Immortal chess game. Okay, now we have Adolf Anderson playing with the white pieces and Kaiseritzky with the black pieces. Anderson starts with the move e4 and black responds e5. And now Anderson plays one of his favorite openings, which is the King's Gambit. Now it is accepted by Kaiseritzky. We have pawn captures on e4 and then bishop to c4. Now, again, as we learned in our theory videos, this white bishop and the white pawn are completely controlling the center, and black doesn't have a very good pawn structure, so it's a good start by white. We have queen h4 check. Now, this was always coming, and yeah, white cannot block because then black can just capture, and it can't be captured back because this is a terrible position. And we also have this move. So we have king sliding over to f1. Now, this move doesn't look the best, but it's the only sensible move white can play. And somehow the king is absolutely safe from any further check for now. We have the move pawn to b5. Now, the logic behind this move is simply not clear to me. I mean, you were always up a pawn if you're playing as black. You accepted the gambit, you took the pawn, you were up in material, and just trying to kick this bishop out like that isn't the best way because it can easily be captured. So pawn can be captured. So Anderson gladly accepts. Now we have knight to f6, attacking this pawn and creating chances here to mate the king. What white does over here is simply play knight to f3, trying to attack the queen so that this knight can't jump in over here. The queen goes back to h6, and now we have d3 by black, I mean white. And what this does is open the diagonal for this bishop, which can later attack this queen as well. We have knight to h5, reinforcing defense. We have knight to h4, opening up the way for this queen and putting this knight in a good position to attack this queen later on. And queen to g5. This move is also pretty strong because it attacks the knight, still defends the knight, and it could have, I mean, it could give black chances here to attack on this file. We have knight to f5, which is just trying to hold everything together, and it will soon provide support for this bishop and queen which are about to come in. We have c6 trying to kick the bishop out of black's territory, and g4 by white. Now, if black captures this pawn, I mean the bishop, then white can capture the knight, and it's still a very good position to be in. Hence, Isaritsky refrains from doing so, and just simply plays the move knight to f6, bringing the knight back and still holding attack of the bishop. We have rook to g1, and the simple idea over here is that once this bishop's captured, which does happen in the game, we simply have white going b4. Now this pawn can't be captured because of this knight, which will capture the queen, and the queen just has one say square left to go to. And here, the move h5 is played. Now white already has a lot of space on his opponent's side of the board, and this queen is almost trapped. The queen comes over here to g5, which is the only safe square, and black, I mean white, brings queen to f3, which is preparing for the move bishop over here, which will trap this queen. We have knight going back, and we all know this is not a very smart move. It violates the opening principle of developing your piece, and this is basically undeveloping the piece. But it is kind of making a little bit of sense over here because now the queen has this file to retreat to once this bishop attacks it. We have bishop takes f4, and the queen goes back to f6. We have knight c3, normal development by white. We have the rook being attacked by bishop to c5 by black, and white sacrifices it by allowing the move knight d5. Now, what this move does is one, black can still capture the rook, white can capture this pawn, which will attack another rook, and basically, black is owning the position. Was and it makes sense that black will capture this pawn because if he captures the rook, it will be a clear blunder of the queen over here. We have queen takes on b2 as expected, and bishop to d6. Now it's pretty unclear why white could have ideally gone this check, which would have also captured this rook, but since black was already attacking two rooks, it would have still been an advantageous position. And with this queen and bishop coming into the white territory, this king wouldn't have lasted long. So yeah, bishop to d6, trying to trade off the attacking material. And black responds by capturing this rook with the bishop. Now, ideally, the best move would be capturing the white rook with this queen, and once the black king goes up, or to this side over here, this would have been a very good position for black to be in. Nonetheless, we have bishop takes on g1, and white just pushes this pawn. It seems like Anderson doesn't care about any type of materialistic advantage or disadvantage, but this move is just preparation for something epic that is about to unfold. We have the capture of this rook, and the king goes to e2. And black plays a really weird move, which is knight to a6, probably wanting to defend this threat over here and cutting off this fork. But this allows Anderson to completely push back. First, we have knight takes on g7 check. Now, the only legal square, and it is to be noted that in this position, white is down 12 points of material. Black is up a bishop and two rooks for a pawn, which is completely destructive. Now, what happens next is again completely shocking. White sacrifices the queen by playing knight, by playing the move queen to f6. Now, what this move does is distracts this knight out of this g8 square, and what's interesting is after that, bishop to e7 is a smothered checkmate. So, Adolf Anderson won this game being down 21 points of material. But what I find much more interesting than this queen sacrifice over here is when we go so many moves back, this knight was moved out of this square on f6 to go back to g8. And after so many moves, the same knight has been completely diluted. And what's interesting is that many experts believed that it would have been sensible for black to just sack the queen over here instead of moving this knight away, because it did prove to be crucial in the end moments of this game, which is fantastic indeed. And there was no way it was a perfect game played, but it's the type of chess that was prevalent in those times, the type of chess that the current generation so adores. And this checkmate wouldn't be possible if this knight wouldn't have been diluted because, yeah, bishop to e7 isn't a possibility because it will be captured, and black would have went on to win the game. But this sacrifice of a queen, losing 21 points of material and completely decimating your opponent, is something I really liked, and I wanted to show you this game. That should be all to wrap up another video here on our channel. I hope you liked it, and I hope there was some learning out of this game. And yeah, that's basically it. So thanks for watching. Bye and take care.